The first family car I remember was my dad's yellow 1950-something Ford station wagon, hooked up to a yellow Shasta trailer in the summer. That wagon played a big part of the Diamond family and left us with some great and fond memories. Well, shortly after that, around 1962, along came another wagon that was beyond my father's Air Force salary, but it too became a popular family wagon. Like my dad's wagon, the Wagoneer has never been forgotten, and now it's back. Yep, there it is, the 2022 Jeep Wagoneer. And it is loaded with so much technology to, well, keep you safe, to make you a better driver, which of course has technology to keep you connected, which is why we have technology to keep you on the road. Never mind, I digress. Now, we've only got this $130,000 Grand Wagoneer for a few hours, so let's try and find out why Jeep decided to bring back this iconic nameplate. But we're also going to meet Brian Harper. Are you ready for this? He learned how to drive on his father's Wagoneer almost 50 years ago.
Like many men of his time, my dad served in the Canadian Army during World War II. There he discovered Jeeps. He was in the Royal Canadian Artillery at the time, and being from Montreal, experiencing the cold and the snowy winters, at some point in time he just said, this is the perfect vehicle to have for the Canadian climate. We've always had some sort of Jeep station wagon in the family. We started off with the Willis station wagon. Then my father bought his first Wagoneer in 1964. I got my license driving the 1966, and that was Dad's favorite.
The original Wagoneer launched in 1962 as a 1963 model year, and it was really a pioneer in the industry. It was really the first vehicle that offered 4x4 capability with a more civilized on-road driving dynamic, and it was really the first iteration of what would become the modern SUV. Personally, I've been working on this vehicle for at least 4 years, but it's gone through several iterations over the years, and I think the idea has always been there, but I think now is the right time. The industry shifted to more UV and SUV type applications. It really was the standard in the industry, and we're happy to see the new vehicle back, and it's going to pick up on where that vehicle left off and hopefully be recognized as the new benchmark in the segment.
Dad would have been pleased as punch to see the Wagoneer name returned to the Jeep fold, but he'd absolutely be spinning in his grave over the price. I mean, the Series 3, $130,000, he'd be beside himself. I see a few design cues, the flat roof, the trapezoidal wheel arches. Other than that, no, not a lot of the real Wagoneer. If you took the two and put them back to back or nose to nose, you'd see a vast difference. This is far larger. It's massive in comparison.
Two powertrains. So Wagoneer comes with a 5.7-liter V8 e-torque engine paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Delivers 392 horsepower, 404 pound-feet of torque. The Grand Wagoneer comes with a 6.4-liter V8 engine, also paired to an 8-speed automatic. Not an e-torque setup, but it does feature cylinder deactivation technology to help with fuel economy. Delivers 471 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque.
It's going up against the Escalade and the Navigator, the Mercedes GL. Those models never existed back in the 60s or 70s. There was no such thing as a sport utility vehicle. They were station wagons, four-wheel drive station wagons. So this is a whole level of luxury, unknown to Jeep, and would have been totally unknown to my father.
Premium materials throughout the cabin, lots of use of nice wood treatments, accents, metal accents throughout the cabin. But the case of the Grand Wagoneer gets this really nice Slaremo leather interior with a quilted pattern. It's got over 75 inches of total screen space. So you got a nice 12-inch instrument cluster, you have a 12-inch Uconnect system. And so it's a pretty cool setup.
You got to give kudos to the interior designers. It's lovely inside. You can see the quality of the materials, the leather, the chrome, the nickel, the wood. I mean, that walnut is gorgeous. We'd like to see the wood on the outside, as was one of the design cues of the original Wagoneer, but I mean, that probably can't happen these days. But you know what? Driving it, you could see people looking at it, and with interest, not with disdain. I had one guy in a Porsche Cayenne, stop, drop down his window, give me the thumbs up, and start asking me questions about it. A couple of other people too, when it was parked, they were wandering around looking at it. They were genuinely interested in the model.
It's really going to be a premium extension of what the Jeep brand is today. So I think there's lots of opportunity there for us. Our competitors sell a lot of vehicles in this space, and the way Canadians live and what they do, large families, they tow boats, they tow snowmobiles, it's the perfect vehicle for that. So I think the timing is right.
Now, as I said, we've only had this Wagoneer for a few hours. My wife Isabel likes to call it the beauty and the beast. Well, it definitely is a beast, over 6,000 pounds, but I got to admit, really nice, quiet, smooth ride on the highway, and of course, lots of comfort inside, but it should be for those prices. As for the beauty part, I'm not sure if you took that nameplate off, if it would hark any memories of the original Wagoneer. But having said that, I'm sure Jeep will sell every one they build. Oh, before I go, as Russ Bond said, it wasn't an SUV back then, and it's not an SUV today. It's a Wagoneer. So there you go. That's it for now. We'll see you next time out as we continue to bring you more stories about cars and the people who drive them. So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers, but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.